Hey guys, it's Vanessa from gamesandme. Just wanted to let you know, first of all, that I'm in a hotel room right now. It's like the middle of the night, so I'm sorry if I'm a little quiet. I don't want to wake everybody up. So what happened this week was a new podcast came out called hold on, I have to read it, it's so long. The Pixel and Polygon Protection Group. It's a podcast with Alex and Magus X1, and it launched on Tuesday. It's really funny, so take a look at it. We've also got Community Playlist number 3 coming out. We're going to record it tomorrow, and it's going to be the first time that I host it, which I'm going to be hosting from now on, so stay tuned for that. As usual, our regular videos and podcasts came out, so check those out. And you can see them at www.gamesandme. And also, we're working on a new website, and when we're done, we're going to post a video tour of it. It looks really nice, way nicer than the one we have right now, so keep an eye out for that. So last week's question was, what consoles or games got you into gaming, or what was your gateway drug? Now, we got a ton of good answers, so I'm going to read them really fast with no comments. Common answers, though, were siblings, especially older brothers, getting people into games, the Atari 2600, and the Nintendo. Alright, so we got some video responses. Thanks so much, you guys, for posting the video responses. That's really cool. It's a nice touch. So first one is Splatter Trigger. What really pushed me into full stream into gaming was The Legend of Zelda. It wasn't so much the game, it was more of a personal thing in my family that pushed me forward. There was this magazine that came out before Nintendo Power came out. They reviewed Zelda, but it only had a few pieces of info on it. When we got it, my brother and I got out of grade school, and my old man would say, hey, you guys can play 30 minutes a piece of video games before doing homework. So I would play for 30 minutes, and my brother would play for 30 minutes, one watching the other. Eventually, my dad watched us play, and he got involved in The Legend of Zelda. The only difference was my dad's playtime was an hour. He got into the game so much that he would hand draw the level maps and copy them and give tips where the items were. My dad would make copies of them and give them to our friends in grammar school. He basically made these packets and we hand them out in school. John Needy1 posted a video, Red South City posted a video, and Dog in My Lens also posted a video. She said, for me, it wasn't a game. It was a system, and it was the NES. It came out when I was 4, and I fell in love with it. I wouldn't just pick one game on it, including Mario, Blaster Master, Bubble Bobble, Kickle, Cubicle. I played a ton on that system, and then it dropped off. In 2004, my spouse bought me the original DS and Super Mario 64 for my birthday. I'd never played Mario 64, and it was the first time I played, and I fell right back in love with gaming. It was a different experience than I've ever had before, and since then, she loves it a lot. Text answers we got. Bolto the Mage says, the thing that got me into games was SimCity. My mother would always leave the SNES on overnight to let her city build herself, and I would sneak in and send tornadoes, monsters, and a bunch of other destructive items in the game on her city, so my parents got me Bomberman. Obviously says, I got into gaming with my parents' Atari 2600. My favorite games were Combat, which is the first game I ever remember playing, and an ancient spaceship shooter called Vanguard. Like a lot of people, though, video games didn't become that important to me until the original Super Mario Bros. Came out and changed everything. Diglio says, what got me hooked into video games when I was 7 years old, I used to sit in my living room and watch my aunt play Zelda: A Link to the Past all day. I thought it was the coolest game I've ever seen. However, she never let me play it. So one day when she was at work, I loaded it up, was so pumped to play it, but I erased her file by accident. Then I spent the whole day trying to get back to the point she was at, but that never happened. I never knew women could get so mad. And now we've got Disthrone says, what got me into games was playing Alex Kidd on the Sega Master System. I used to get up extra early in the morning, like 2 to 3 o'clock, to play it before school. Because my parents always had the TV at home before school, I think I liked playing games Oh, sorry, it goes off into us. Anyway, the point being that he gets up at 2 or 3 in the morning, and my brothers did the same exact thing when they were younger, so I know what you mean. XTatSplatX says, I caught the gaming bug when I was about 3 years old. At least the first memory I have of it. My grandmother, who is now in her late 60s and still plays, had an NES, and I would spend hours upon hours playing Super Mario with her and my dad. My mom, who was never actually into playing the games, would sit and watch us, and it became a real family bonding experience. I think Nintendo would be proud of you. Family Guy 24680 says, for me it was when my cousin let me play N64 for a day. Everyone then bought a PS2, and everyone had it, including my cousins, friends, family members. After 4 months of non-stop chores and bottle collecting, I bought my PS2 and forgot to buy a game for it. Good thing my cousin bought me a game and gave it to me as a present because he knew I was saving up for the PS2. Good times, good times. Wow, 4 months. Who has the patience for 4 months anymore now that we're not kids? Swift the Fox 15 says, this isn't how I got into video games in general, but how I got into my favorite series, Sonic the Hedgehog. When I was a kid, I went to a kid's dentist's office, and it was so cool. It had a mini arcade. I think I was 4 or 5, and I went up to Sega Genesis, and down the list of games, he saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I loved the speed and the songs. Sure, I died many times, but my motor skills were not to my current level yet. Other games I played were Aladdin, Cool Spot, and Wave Race 64 in later years. And then to top it all off, we've got Slick Shots says, Pokemon Red and Blue plus Green Game Boy Color equals my life. So those are some pretty good responses. Thanks for answering, you guys. It was so hard to narrow it down to those, so I'm sorry if I didn't read yours. They were all really good. And so let's see. This week's community question is, what are your 3 top favorite genres? The definition of a genre could be very loose. A blend would be great, so choose some variety there. And also, you can't just tell me your genres, you have to give me some examples too. So I wrote mine down. We've got action-adventure. I grouped Fallout and Oblivion into those. Very related, RPG, especially Western RPGs, Mass Effect, and a JRPG, Persona 4. And then I also like adventure games like Monkey Island and The Dig. So let me know what kind of games you like. Sorry if I totally botched your answers. Like I said, it's the middle of the night. I'm in a hotel room. It's kind of hard for me to see. I haven't slept in a few nights. So yeah, give me your answers and I will read them correctly next time. See ya.